in the French Revolution. They'd say, "Hey, my neighbor who pissing me off right now, they're saying bad things about the government.
Yeah.
You should go take them away."
Or what they did in Russia, that certainly never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Throughout all of the Soviet sort of revolutions, it was never to any degree of turn in your neighbor because they might be saying bad things. Or I don't know, maybe they like stepped on your garden plant and so you had a reason to destroy them.
Or
people are petty.
They would teach the kids to tattle on their own parents if their parents were saying things that were anti-government.
If you didn't see the stuff related to the Capitol riots about that,
I know, it's crazy.
It's really scary.
What happened?
There were kids that were turning in their parents that they saw in the riot at the Capitol.
Yeah.
Really? Oh my God.
Yes, and their parents, I believe, one of them was arrested. One of the parents that was turned in by the kids.
Wow. I bet that person got a lot of likes on Twitter, though.
And that makes it worth it. All worth it.
Mom's in jail, but hey, I'm rolling in all these likes.
This temporary attention.
Hey.
Question to be asked here about whether someone who, at time of recording, has a book at #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list can be meaningfully said to have been cancelled. With regard...
Look, we tried to cancel someone.
Yeah, I know.
Failed.
Here it is.
Therefore, cancel culture doesn't exist.
This is the attempted murder, attempted robbery, attempted rape defense right here.
Adam, when I went to your house and tried to shoot you in the head and then you stopped me, what's your problem? I didn't kill you.
Huh?
Let's just go home.
No.
Nothing happened.
No. Fuck you.
I
Fuck
didn't kill you,
you.
though.
Fuck you.
I didn't kill you. You're speaking to
canceled.
me. You're alive right now. You were not canceled.
I'm
Your life was not
canceling
canceled,
you.
Adam.
I'm canceling you. I'm canceling you before you can cancel me.
To the sprung up around the affair, however, the manner in which those defending Rowling so often try to move the conversation towards being about the broad notion of...
Tell me how I'm trying to move the conversation about how it being really weird that you're trying to cancel this woman. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a fucking hour-long, 8, 10, 20-hour-long stream.
I know,
last
you're
week.
like, when was the last time we had an
all
hour-long
about this very
stream?
topic where we dived deep into all the very specific things, and actually even fucking ContraPoints didn't even dive into fucking J.K. Rowling's manifesto. Instead, she just conflated a bunch of other people saying very incendiary things to J.K. Rowling and saying, "See, J.K. Rowling's using secret dog whistles. I can tell."
Yeah.
Right.
Aussie Yar for 5 Aussie bucks says, "Oh, the irony of Dobby turning on J.K."
I do think that J.K. Rowling is a very interesting canary in the coal mine in a way, that it proves that no matter how woke you are, no matter how much of a hero you are to the woke crowd, they will eat you. They will destroy you when you're no longer useful.
Well, that's why I was very interested about Ibram Kendi's remarks, because he's sort of taken the non-J.K. Rowling route, but I think that's because J.K. is a white woman, and white women are perceived as like they're like they're white women are basically white men.
they're the second highest on the lowest on the progressive stack.
She's rich and white and a woman
and straight.
Yeah.
Yes, that too.
Ostensibly straight, I guess.
But you can't have a bunch of white trans activists calling out Ibram Kendi. It would look too bad for them.
Bad look.
Culture works to tacitly discourage people from actually looking into the things that she said and from actually considering whether there might be any evidentiary basis for her spurious claims.
Again, what did she say?
Happiness and...
What did she say that's so offensive?
She said that there should remain a categorical distinction between women and trans women.
This is why I was making the distinction between how it's subjective, because we're really having an argument over what is offensive and what damage that offense does. I mean, it's a really weird argument. I love it how they want to make it anything where you're advocating your position is offensive. It's like, what? I can't even advocate my position without offending you?
Unless it's also their position. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is like insane levels of gaslighting almost, because it's someone says, J.K. Rowling says her tweet is, and then they try to cancel her, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, I don't think what she said was that transphobic or whatever, and you kind of discuss it, but then people still want to cancel her, and then other people say, well, look, I don't necessarily agree with J.K. Rowling, but I don't think that this is the way that we should handle public discourse. And then this asshole comes along and says, oh, see, that guy over there, he's just trying to muddy the waters. He doesn't want to talk about what J.K. Rowling actually said. He just wants to talk about cancel culture. It's like, yeah, because lots of people don't necessarily agree with lots of people saying that get canceled, but they don't like the concept that we live in this fucking society where if you don't toe an ideological line, the mob besets you and you get canceled.
Yeah, that's another problem, because they do come in and say if you're defending them in the realm of cancel culture, then you agree with whatever they said. And I'm like, fuck you, buddy. I don't agree with any of that shit.
I think it's not even that you don't toe the ideological line, but that you don't keep up to date with how the Overton window of that line moves. Right. So you have to be constantly up to date, which means you can be canceled for stuff that you said in the past that was completely on point 10 years ago, but now is socially unacceptable by the same side of the political aisle.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's hugely unfair.
So much of this is used so it's all bullshit. It's used politically to like get somebody. Because we saw this with the lady who said sexual preferences instead of sexual orientation. Like, oh, you said preferences. That implies choice. You're actually a homophobe.
That was a Supreme Court justice they were trying to cancel.
Yeah, that was right. It was the Supreme Court justice. And everyone's like, what? Like, when did this fucking happen? And it's like, oh, this was obviously, someone was looking over everything she said with a fucking fine-tooth comb, looking for anything that could be possibly conceived as problematic. Yep. Just so they can get you. Because I knew you were really a homophobe.
But now to maintain their ideological consistency, that's the new norm. Like, that has to be the new norm. So now preference is this thing that you can't say, otherwise you're going to be canceled. No, it's weird. That's exactly how it's like the evolution is. It's like, oh, we shot at this lady. Now we have to constantly point it out if somebody uses this. Like, that's a thing now.
How is sexual orientation not a preference, but your gender is entirely a social construct?
Well, the whole idea that it's not a preference completely invalidates gay and lesbian women.
Don't try to logic your way out of this, okay?
I don't think it's maybe
it's not going to work.
I'm just using their language. It invalidates the lived experiences of gay men and lesbian women to say they can't have a quote unquote preference for someone of the same sex.
It's so funny because this is really mob psychology. It's like the mob is looking for an excuse to attack the Supreme Court nominee, but any excuse will do. Oh, she misused the word. Now she's using the word preference, which was acceptable then, but let's make it unacceptable.
Yeah.
Let's make it unacceptable on the fly, and then now we can cancel her. The mob kicks in.
William the Younger for £5 says, they always pick the people who survive cancel culture to try and disprove cancel culture, ignoring all the little people like Chelsea Russell.
Yeah.
Think of I don't know who that is, but that's point in case in point, I guess.
That was a woman who she quoted some rap lyric,
song
on Instagram
lyrics,
or something, and they
said,
she's forever.
Oh, was that the girl who got kicked out of her college? I guess for it.
There's a ton of them. There's a ton.
Yeah,
of them.
It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Yeah, that's what's so. I hate these fucking people. And this was what's the sweaty white guy, the fat sweaty white guy who had the same videos.
There's a lot of them.
I know. There's some more news guy. He had the same thing. He's like, yeah, if you focus only on celebrities often have fan bases that will stick by them regardless of whatever they do. Right. But there's hundreds of examples of just random people that you've never fucking heard of, because why would you? Because no one writes papers or articles about them, because you're just a random fucking person who gets fired for saying something innocuous or whatever. Like one of the classic examples was the guy who made the dongles joke. That was like really early on in cancel culture.
Or the guy who had the sexy lady shirt at the NASA thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes, the sexy lady shirt guy. I forgot about that.
The sexy lady shirt guy.
Sexy lady shirt guy.
There's so many of these like little examples that you forget about because it's just some random person, and then they get in all sorts of trouble, and who the fuck knows what happens to these people?
Because exactly, they have their 5 minutes of infamy, they lose everything, and they have no capacity to get it back. The best they can hope for is to quietly sneak back behind the scenes without anyone noticing. And I brought this up before. It's the uber rich, the uber elite. They don't suffer from cancel culture.
Right.
J.K. Rowling, doesn't matter how much you cancel her, she's still a freaking billionaire or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Or
some random on Twitter that you call a fascist Nazi and get him fired from his job. I mean, he's not coming back from that.
The origin example is Justine. What's her last name?
Sacco.
Justine Sacco.
Yeah, Justine Sacco.
Yeah, she got canceled for the joke, which was first of all was a joke about her own white fucking privilege, and then she gets fired, loses her job, and then she like disappears from the public eye for like 6 months. And then she gets canceled again because someone finds out that she got another job and she gets fired again.
Yeah. She's in the thumbnail.
But yet there's no such thing as cancel culture, right?
No.
Doesn't exist.
Like right.
Just the righteous group of people fighting for
social justice.
This isn't irrational in any way. It's never rational.
Michael Wait for 499 said the kid who turned his dad in for being at the Capitol started a GoFundMe and raised tens of thousands of dollars.
Last I checked, it was something like $80K for college funds.
For what?
Yeah.
For his college funds because he has no parents now? Is that
it? Yes.
I got my dad arrested, so he can't pay for my college. So I want you guys to pay for it.
That is exactly what it was.
Oh my God.
This is crazy.
Oh no.
What's happening to society here?
That's so bad.
It's crazy. The only thing is I wrote a little mini essay about what I think that will happen to that kid, which is that he won't get his comeuppance now, tomorrow, or any time in the future. But why would anyone ever trust someone like that?
Never.
Who's willing to turn in their own parents? Not your romantic partner, not your friends, not your teachers. No one will ever trust you. So you'll have an interesting life, but I hope it was worth it.
He'll probably become a policeman.
There was that story not that long ago where this girl got kicked out of her college because this guy had like a recording of her saying, she said like the N-word with a soft A.
Yeah.
She said, "I can drive N-words." So she wasn't even using it disparagingly.
Yeah.
And
remember this.
Yeah. And she got kicked out of her college. And he was like sitting on that for like a year or something.
He sat on actually for 3 years.
Yeah. And he just like released it at like the right time to screw this girl over. And you're like, what the? And everyone's like, what the fuck? No, cancel culture isn't real.
Yeah, he actually wanted to go out with her, as far as I understand.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
He got friend zoned.
And I don't know if they went out or not, but they were potentially romantically involved when they were in high school. He took the video that she posted 3 years prior when she got her license and sent it to her college during her freshman semester.
Wow.
But no, cancel culture isn't real.
No, it doesn't real. It doesn't real.
Doesn't real.
It does not.